Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikhil and this is the chapter 7 part 2 of the Richdadpoordad series. Let's continue. When I speak to adults who want to earn more money, I always recommend the same thing. I suggest taking long view of their life instead of simply working for the money and security, which I admit are important. I suggest they take a second job that will teach them a second skill. Often I recommend joining a network marketing company, also called multi-level marketing, if they want to learn sales skill. Some of these companies have excellent training programs that help people get over their fear of failure and rejection, which are the main reasons people are unsuccessful. Education is more valuable than money in the long run. When I offer this suggestion, I often hear in response, "Oh, that is too much hassle," or "I only want to do what I'm interested in." To the statement of "it's too much of a hassle," I ask, "So you would rather work all your life giving 50% of what you earn to the government?" To the other statement, "I only do what I am interested in," I say, "I'm not interested in going to the gym, but I go because I want to feel better and live longer." Unfortunately, there is some truth to the old statement. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Unless a person is used to changing, it's hard to change. But for those of you who might be on the fence when it comes to the idea of working to learn something new, I offer this word of encouragement. Life is much like going to the gym. The most painful part is days I have dreaded going to the gym, but once I am there and in motion, it is a pleasure. After the workout is over, I am always glad I talked myself into going. If you are unwilling to work to learn something new and insist on instead becoming highly specialized within your field, make sure the company you work for is unionized. Labor unions are designed to protect specialists. My educated dad, after falling from grace with the governor, became the head of the teachers' union in Hawaii. He told me that it was the hardest job he ever had. My rich dad, on the other hand, spent his life doing his best to keep his companies from being unionized. He was successful, although the unions came close. Rich dad was always able to fight them off. Personally, I take no sides because I can see the need for and the benefits of both sides. If you do as school recommends, become highly specialized, then seek union protection. For example, had I continued on with my flying career, I would have sought a company that had a strong pilots union. Why? Because my life would be dedicated to learn a skill that was valuable in only one industry. If I were pushed out of that industry, my life skills would be not as valuable to the other industry. A displaced senior pilot with 1 lakh hours of heavy airline transport time, earning $150,000 a year, would have a hard time finding an equivalent high paying job in school teaching. The skills do not necessarily transfer from industry to industry because the skills the pilots are paid for in the airline industry are not as important in, say, the school system. The same is true even for doctors today. With all the changes in the medicine, many medical specialists are needing to conform to medical organizations such as HMOs. School teachers definitely need to be union members. Today in America, the teachers union is the largest and the richest labor union of all. The NEA, National Education Association, has tremendous political clout. Teachers need the protection of their union because their skills are also of limited value to an industry outside of education. So the rule of thumb is highly specialized than unionize. It's the right thing to do. When I ask the classes I teach, "How many of you can cook a better hamburger than McDonald's?" Almost all the students raise their hands, and then ask and then I ask, So, if most of you can cook a better hamburger, how come McDonald's makes more money than you? The answer is obvious. McDonald's is excellent as business systems. The reason so many talented people are poor is because they focus on building a better hamburger and know little to nothing about business systems. A friend of mine in Hawaii is a great artist. He makes a sizable amount of money. One day his mother's attorney called to tell him that she had left him $35,000. That is what was left of her estate after the attorney and the government took their shares. Immediately, he saw an opportunity to increase his business by using some of this money to advertise. 2 months later, his first four-color full-page ad appeared in an expensive magazine that targeted the very rich. The ad ran for 3 months. He received no replies from the ad, and all his inheritance is now gone, and now wants to sue the magazine for misrepresentation. This is common case for someone who can build a beautiful hamburger but knows little about business. When I asked him what he learned, his only reply was that advertising salespeople are crooks. I then asked him if he would be willing to take a course in sales and a course in direct marketing. His reply, I don't have the time and I don't want to waste my money. The world is filled with talented poor people. All too often they are poor or struggle financially or earn less than they are capable of. Not because of what they know, but because of what they do not know. They focus on performing their skills at building a better hamburger than rather than the skills of selling and delivering the hamburger. Maybe McDonald's does not make the best hamburger, but they are the best at selling and delivering a basic average burger. Poor dad wanted me to specialize. That was his view on how to be paid more. Even after being told by the governor of Hawaii that he could no longer work in state government, my educated dad continued to encourage me to get specialized. Educated dad then took up the cause of the teachers union, campaigning for further protection and benefits for these highly skilled and educated professionals. We argued often, but I know he never agreed that overspecialization is what caused the need for union protection. He never understood that the more specialized you become, the more you are trapped and dependent on that specialty. Rich Dad advised that Mike and I groom ourselves. Many corporations do the same thing. They find a young, bright student out of business school and begin grooming that person to someday take over the company. So, these bright young employees do not specialize in one department. They are moved from department to department to learn all the aspects of business systems. The rich often groom their children or the children of others. By doing so, the children gain an overall knowledge of the operations of the business and how various departments interrelate. For the World War II generation, it was considered bad to skip from company to company. Today, it is considered smart. Since people will skip from company to company rather than seek greater specialization, why not seek to learn more than earn? In the short term, it may earn you less. In the long term, it will pay off in large dividends. The management first is the management of cash flow, second the management of systems including yourself and time with family, the third is management of people. The most important specialized skills are sales and understanding marketing. It is the ability to sell, therefore to communicate to another human being, be it a customer, employee, boss, spouse, or child. That is the base skill of personal success. It is communication skills such as writing, speaking, and negotiating that are crucial to a life of success. It is a skill that I work on constantly, attending courses or buying educational tapes to expand my knowledge. As I have mentioned, my educated dad worked harder and harder. The more competent he became, he also became more trapped the more specialized he got. Although his salary went up, his choices diminished. Soon after he was locked out of government work, he found out how vulnerable he really was professionally. It is like professional athletes who suddenly are injured or are too old to play. Their once high paying job positions is gone and they have limited skills to fall back on. I think that is why my educated dad sided so much with unions after that. He realized how much a union would have benefited him. Rich Dad encouraged Mike and me to know a little about a lot. He encouraged us to work with people smarter than we are and to bring smart people together to work as a team. Today, it would be called a synergy of professional athletes or professional specialties. Today, I met ex school teachers earning hundreds and thousands of dollars a year. They earn that much because they have specialized skills in their field as well as the other skills. They can teach as well as sell and market. I know of no other skills to be more important than selling as well as marketing. The skills of selling and marketing are difficult for most people primarily due to their fear of rejection. The better you are at communicating, negotiating, and handling a fear of rejection, the easier life is. Just as I advised that newspaper writer who wanted to become a best selling author, I advise anyone else today. Being technically specialized has its strengths as well as its weakness. I have friends who are geniuses, but they cannot communicate effectively with other human beings, and as a result their earnings are pitiful. Advise them to just spend a year learning to sell. Even if they earn nothing, their communication skills will improve, and that is priceless. In addition to being good learners, sellers, and marketers, we need to be good teachers as well as good students. To be truly rich, we need to be able to give as well as to receive. In case of financial or professional struggle, there is often a lack of giving and receiving. I know many people who are poor because they are neither good students nor good teachers. Both of my dads were generous men. Both made it a practice to give first. Teaching was one of their ways of giving. The more they gave, the more they received. One glaring difference was in the giving of money. My rich dad gave lots of money away. He gave to his church, to charities, to his foundations. He knew that to receive money, you had to give money. Giving money is the secret to most great wealthy families. That is why there are organizations like Rockefeller Foundation and the Ford Foundation. These are organizations designed to take their wealth and increase it, as well as give it away in perpetuity. My educated dad always said, when I have some extra money, I will give it. The problem was there was never any extra. So he worked harder to draw more money in rather than focus on important skill, the law of money. Give and you shall receive. Instead, he believed in receive and then you give. In conclusion, I became both dads. One part of me is a hardcore capitalist who loves the game of money making money. The other side is a socially responsible teacher who is deeply concerned with this ever widening gap between the haves and haves not. I personally hold the archaic educational system primarily responsible for this growing gap. Okay, now this ends here the chapter 7 of the Richdadpoordad series, and I will see you guys in the next chapter. Thanks for listening, and I will see you guys in the next.